All right, so for the 10 to 16 people who are able to actually see a little portion of the video before, it was officially out, I guess you could say, much love, respect, and appreciation. To YouTube, I just want to note that I did edit out the little a few seconds of the video that you guys found to be problematic of why you wanted to strip the video down. So if you happen to strip this video down, we're then going to have an issue because I actually did edit that part out, even though I didn't really see a problem directly with it, because there's other content directly on this platform that is more pressing and much more of an issue that children can get and have access directly to. But like I said, let's get into the video. So the Queen of Accountability said this: singer Mario was assaulted by a married predator. I commend this man because if that were me, I would have broken some fingers. The video isn't getting the outrage it deserves simply because the man is a victim. If the roles were reversed, he'd be in jail with no bond waiting to see a judge. This happens to a lot of male entertainers and they're told to take it. If a male sets boundaries, he's suddenly labeled sweet or gay. I'm sure Mario won't press charges because most men don't, but she needs to be jailed. She was bold enough to do this while her wedding ring was shining in the camera. I hope her husband sees it. She is for the streets and the alleyways. And the funny part is, this is not the first time that I've seen something happen, nor is it the first time that I've covered a video or videos like this. The other interesting fact to note is that before cameras existed, women were doing this to male entertainers of all sorts. It doesn't matter what music genre. If women found that guy directly attractive, that's exactly what they were doing. And I promise you, during the time, if it were even allowed for them to even get that close, they were doing that to Michael Jackson when he was younger. And I'm talking about grown women who are older than Michael Jackson. Again, weirdos. These are also the exact same women, and I covered a video and I also showed the comments of women on IG of Pastor Rev Run's son. I think it should have been Diggy, and I think during the time he should have been in high school or maybe just out. And you had women in the comment section talking about, oh, I can't wait until he gets older, how much more time until he's out of high school and all of these things. Now I want to note, this is on public grounds on social media. This is not behind closed doors. This is not in the Discord. This is not in some type of Facebook private group and or chat. You have grown adult women. I'm talking about these women who are well into their 30s and 40s pining after somebody who is freshly at the end of high school or just got out potentially. And again, if these were men doing this, women everywhere would have lost their minds. It would have been on the Shade Room. It would have been on the news. The FBI would have been called, CIA. Women would have been asking for things to be done, for these guys to lose their job, for them to be branded and marked for life as weirdos, to make sure that they never get any type of relationships and or job opportunities, and yada, 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 yada. And then they would go into a whole spiel about how dangerous men are and how they're predators and how they're this and how they're that and everything else with a baseball cap. But when it deals with women doing things like this to male entertainers, this is what we just so happen to get. And the only time that you see women out here wanting to be accountable, wanting to say that this is detestable actions that are being taken, is when a woman brings this to the forefront. Because again, women know what it is that women do. And 9 times out of 10, women do not sit up there and call it out. These are just facts. These are just bars. This is why I stated before, and I've showcased on my platform, there are only so few female platforms out here that will actually call out other women. Because realistically for them, there's not as much money. There's not as much money if they decided to, stay on this road, which a lot of them have, right? And the money that they do get, they're getting it by way of the support of men who are like, yo, thank you for coming out here and being a woman yourself and calling out these other women, right? They would get way more money if they decided to jump on the exact same bandwagon as all the other women out there, and especially if they decided that they wanted to talk about black men negatively. They would get all the money in the world. The world would love them. The world would love them. The world would pedestalize them. They would be everywhere, right? But because they're calling out, they're using their platform, they're using the light that they have, right? They're using the power that they have on social media to call out women. This is why a lot of women don't support it, because they're like, you're going against the girl code. You're talking about this, you're talking about that. You're trying, you're making us, out to be the problem, and you know what the real problem is, and rah rah rah. Because like I said, I done been following Daphne, aka the Queen of Accountability, for years, and I've seen tons of women pull up to the platform and call her everything but a child of God. They want to call her all types of pick-me's, all types of pick-mishas, all of these things and whatnot or whatever. I'm like, dog, that's some clown work. I'm like, she's giving you proof. She's showing you evidence of what it is that women are out here doing. And this is how you decide to come at one of your own because you don't like that she's holding you accountable. That's some foolishness. And obviously you are a bird. Now that I'm done with my short rant, I'm just trying to figure out why do women think that it is okay to do something like this? Because again, if men were to have done this to, let's say, like a Beyonce, a Rihanna, a Nicki Minaj, a Cardi B, a Dolce, a Sexy Red, Ice Spice, whatever popular, Mega Stallion, whatever popular female entertainers out there, if a man were to have done this, women would be screaming bloody murder, and we all know this to be true. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You don't have to even try to figure out a theory and say that women will act differently. We know specifically exactly what would happen. On top of that, there will be men out there waiting to beat that guy directly up, and that's another thing too. In a lot of those instances, when it deals with that happening to women, there are not only men who are on a security guard that'll be waiting to stump that dude out. Some of the dancers will be waiting to stump that dude out, on top of other men who may be in a crowd who will be waiting to stump that dude directly out. There will be consequences made. But do you think for even 1 second, for 1 second, for 1 nanosecond, for 1 picosecond, do you think that any women there would be waiting to see that woman for deciding to do that to that male entertainer? And you can obviously see that he was uncomfortable. You can obviously see that he had to tell a grown adult woman that, yo, you don't do this. This is not something that he had to stop for a few seconds in mid-performance to tell a grown woman, don't do this. Stop. Huh? What happened? Like I said, I thought women were, logical. I thought, women understood, right? Personal space. No means no. Consensual and all this other. Like I said, man, y'all weirdos. Y'all are some straight weirdos. In one moment, you sit up there and say that, you shouldn't do things. And if somebody doesn't consent, you're in the wrong and all these other types of things. No means no. You should always ask for permission. But when it deals with these black male entertainers, there is no type of position. These women out here are like, I know this is mine and I'm going to do what it is that I want to do because I'm a woman and I can do what it is that I want to do, and I'm never going to be held accountable specifically for that, and nothing is going to happen. The other thing I want to add in there on a reason why women are not held accountable is because you have a lot of guys out here. You got a lot of captains that want to put on their capes and their super suits, and they decide that they too want to join in on the bandwagon, and they want to sit up there and state, yo man, bro, if you don't want no, a woman, just randomly touching on you like that, like, yeah, you might be a little bit suspect, might be gay, it's cool, it's nothing wrong with that, but that's a little bit suspect, bro. Like, you don't want the ladies, just touching on you, man. Nah, right? So not only would you have women out here also calling a guy, and Daphne is 100% correct. In that post, she did not miss. Not only, and remember, Mario is a black male entertainer. So again, not only would women be out here trying to call Mario or are calling Mario gay, you would also have men in the community calling Mario gay. So because you have both sides, male and female, agreeing with the exact same rhetoric, the nonsense, illogical behavior that just should not be happening, this is why you have a lot of women that's not going to be held accountable. Like I said, it's a loss either which way it goes. If Mario decides that he wants to press charges, good on him. It should happen, because that should not have happened. But yet you'll have a lot of people out there that will sit up there and say that, oh, Mario must be sweet. He must be gay. He must be this. He must be that. I knew he really didn't sit up there and like women. You'll have a lot of women that will say that. Oh, I knew he didn't really like women. What man doesn't want a woman sitting up there touching all over him and this, that, and the third? Yo, it's a lot of guys. You're random out here. Like, who are you? And then on top of that, ma'am, you're married. Like I said, I need to see the birds that flock together. I need to see, because if one of these women, right, if she is married and she is willing to go out there with her married ring and touch on Mario, I know that she's done stuff like this before, and she is prone to do a lot of other things directly out there. Whenever she sees a man that she finds attractive, oh, she'll do anything, ring or not. She is just out there. Divorce. I want that man to see this video footage, and I want him to go for a divorce and to make sure she gets nothing from that divorce. She don't get no pension, she don't get no retirement, she don't get no social security, she ain't getting no child support, she is not getting the house, the farm, the dog, the other dead dog, she's not getting no type of land, she's not getting no cars, she's returning any type of purses, dresses, designer, anything that was even bought during that point in time, during the extent of that marriage. She gets nothing, and also returning that ring, like I said before. And that's not going too far, because really going too far is, I want her in prison. I'm just dead serious. I'm just going to be real. The same exact way when men do this to women and they deserve to sit up there and spend some time behind a clinker, I want the exact same thing for this woman. But I know a lot of people are going to disagree and going to, oh, said you're going too far. This video is not even really that serious, and rah, 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 nah. I'm like, all right, so be it. Y'all keep, you got people out there that keep wanting to say, all right, man, you got bad takes. You don't know what you're talking about. This is that and the third. No problem. I got you. It's cool. I'm just going to keep bringing up videos, and I'm going to keep watching a lot of folks directly out there deny any of the things that are going on in the video, including calling those things directly out. Like I said, it's hilarious. It is hilarious, and I'm all directly for it. Because like I said before, the exact same ways that people want to deny accountability, want to deny the things that are taking place here, before all of y'all came directly through here, originally it was white people doing this. Before y'all, it was white people doing this. So like I said, I'm not really too surprised. Not really too surprised. It was bound to happen. I was going to sit up there and see some copycat working happening at a moment in time. Just had to allow it. But like I said before, this woman, she needs to get divorced. She doesn't deserve to have anything out here. No man should try to be in a relationship with her, because she is a bird, and this bird flocks with other birds, and we need to know who exactly she is and who her friends directly are, so that men can be properly educated and know to stay away from women just like this, because these women will bring you nothing but trouble, heartache, and dry pockets. Because at the end of the day, once they're done with you, they will carry on to the next guy, get remarried, and go for a divorce. Like I said, that's all that's going to happen. That is all that is going to happen. But like Miss Daphne stated, more than likely charges are not going to be pressed, because it's going to be an L either way. And he would be 1000% in the right for pressing charges, but he would still be wrong, because in women's eyes, what man doesn't want this? I could have sworn if men out there said the exact same thing, or when men out there said the exact same thing to women, that women had a huge disagreement with that. But when women say it, it's different. Interesting. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.